And we made it through 2021. Welcome back. Now that convicted sex trafficker Ghislaine Maxwell faces the rest of her life in the big house, speculation now growing that she will flip on Epstein's pals and start, quote, singing like a canary, unquote, in exchange for a shorter sentence. Maxwell's attorneys say they will appeal. They always do. And legal experts think other people could be going down, too.
Well, she's going to practice her singing voice. Okay, so I believe that all along she has been playing her cards very, very wisely. She didn't need to implicate other people. And everybody's saying, hey, is Trump involved? Is Clinton involved? Is Leon Black involved? Famous political figures, wealthy people. But listen, even if she names names, the state still has to create a case. But this would be the time for her to start naming names. I mean, after the life she's lived in complete and lavish luxury, 3 hots and a cot, that doesn't look too good for her.
Meanwhile, the heat is turning up on other friends of Epstein, like Royal Prince Andrew and his lawyers, holding, quote, emergency talks, unquote, after Maxwell's guilty verdict. So, does this canary start singing? Kaylee, I go to you first. So, basically, Maxwell has 3 options here, right? She can either not talk, she could talk to reduce her sentence, obviously appeal. Appeal's probably the not likely option in terms of getting her out of this anytime soon. The question is, do you feel the same way I do about singing? In other words, you saw Goodfellas, and the advice to Henry Hill early on was never rat on your friends. So if she rats here, even if she gets a shorter sentence, what does that do for her? She's 60 years old. She gets out at age 85 as opposed to 170. I wonder if she talks. So what's your bet if you were to bet on this right now?
Oh, if I have to bet, these are a lot of slimy folks, Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and I believe she's singing. What incentive does she have not to sing? Maybe she gets out, has 1 year left to live, 2 years left to live if she gets out at 90, 95. But the role that she had in this, I mean, think about this. Prosecutors said, if you're a single middle-aged man who invites people to go to your private home or your ranch or your plane to New York City, you're considered creepy. But if you're a middle-aged man who has this, young, nice-looking woman who goes out and tries to normalize this and talks to young girls, it's a little bit different. Maybe in the young girl's mind, they're, in words of prosecutors, quote, lured into a trap. So Ghislaine Maxwell, what a horrible thing she's done, luring people into this trap, these young women. But waiting in that trap were these men who deserve to be sought after, who deserve to have prosecutors go after them in the same fashion they went after Maxwell. This is unacceptable. And if these people didn't have millions and millions and millions of dollars, justice would have been served here a whole lot quicker.
Leslie Marshall asked a very simple, pithy, short question. Given what's happened here with these circumstances in the past and the people involved, do you think she's safe at this point, regardless of being behind bars?
Now, that's very interesting because there are questions as to whether Epstein actually did kill himself. Very good question, Joe. I don't know. I think they're going to keep her very safe. I think her song should be Canary in a Coal Mine because I think she will be singing. Snitches may end up in ditches unless you want a deal. And the bigger the name, the bigger the deal, unless the sentence time this woman is going to get, I believe. The sad thing here is, we're looking for former presidents' names. We're looking for princes. What we forget are pilots, chauffeurs, cooks, maids, butlers, other people who knew this was going on and who were just as culpable, in my and many other people's opinion, who kept catching their paychecks, knowing the damage that was being done to these young girls, more than 100 that we know of, that are now women. I think she definitely will cut a deal, even if it, cuts her sentence by a few years. I think she is keeping that black book of hers close to the chest, and she's very smart, actually. She has come from a very powerful and rich family, and that means they can hire very powerful attorneys, which she has. And I think that may work well for her, and hopefully it'll actually work well for the victims in the long run. But I don't want to see an immunity being put on the table for this woman, and that could be something she requests, as we know.
Kat, I'll give you an option here as far as what would you rather have? Access to Area 51 and all the secrets behind there, or Ghislaine Maxwell's black book? Go.
Probably this. I think we should have access to this. I'm not going to predict, whether she's going to talk or not, because ever since we saw her at that In-N-Out, just out there at that In-N-Out, like everything was cool, I don't ever think I can get inside her brain of why she does what she does when she's in trouble. But the unfortunate thing is powerful sex predators are so powerful because not of just themselves, because there are so many people who are also powerful who are involved. And then there's people who are not involved but who know about things that are going on and could have done something but look the other way. And every time we see one of these figureheads get taken down, there's always a bunch more people who were either involved or knew about it who never do get taken down. So as much as I desperately want to see everyone get held accountable here, as much as I desperately want to know everything, I don't have that much faith in the world.
Let's go around the circle here as far as the semi-Brady Bunch thing that we're going on here, right? So, JJ, I'm going to start with you first. Lightning round here, okay? Pick one or two people you think should be the most nervous right now if Maxwell does talk. And go, and then we'll go to Kaylee, Leslie, Kat.
Yeah, listen, I think anybody who's done anything wrong, and I don't care who they are, I hope they all come out, and I hope they all go to jail. This is not trivial. This is talking about taking advantage of kids. These weren't young women. These were children, and that's a big deal. And so I hope they all burn.
Kaylee?
I think if you're on that flight manifest, you may be in that black book and your name may be handed over. So we'll see. I don't know what those names are.
All right, Leslie, quickly.
The name I'm hearing come up again and again, who is additional legal counsel, is Prince Andrew. So I'm going to say that's the one we're going to be looking at right now, potentially.
Very good. Kat, tap it off.
Yeah, I agree with Johnny Joey Jones, because the names I would give would just be because of how famous those people are. And I think that anyone who's involved in this in any capacity is disgusting, and I would like to see them rot.
I think we all agree on that, certainly. Coming up, creepy technology is invading our lives and causing all sorts of problems. We'll explain that one next.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.